Welcome to Cult of the Lamb, the most adorable dungeon crawler in which you are given the powers of a god to overthrow 4 bishops and to free your master by starting a cult. And by travelling to mysterious lands in order to grow it, you can then become the one true cult. And yes, without question, this game is just as fun as it sounds for those of you who are still unfamiliar with it. Now, Cult of the Lamb has 37 achievements, and to get them all we need to kill bosses, grow our following, gather collectibles, and sacrifice my loyal believers. So, enough with the intro, let's just get straight into it. Welcome to the achievement grind. Now, first thing that I need to mention before we start is that Cult of the Lamb has some phenomenal Twitch integration, where your chat can become followers, vote for buffs and nerfs during the game that can really help or hinder your success. Buffs like invincibility for a short time, or even reviving dead cult members. But the buffs also suck. For example, they can make every cult member immediately sick, litter an area with bombs, or outright kill somebody. We activated this from the start, so if things look a little bit different, that is why. Now, the game starts with our adorable little lamb getting his head cleaved off by 4 bishops of the old faith. In that moment, we then appear in front of an imprisoned creature, the One Who Waits, a strange deity who tasks us with starting a cult in its name. He gives us a demonic crown and then resurrects me to exact revenge on those that opposed me and imprisoned him. And by killing the bishops, we will slowly free the One Who Waits chain by chain. Also, in doing this, we also unlocked our first achievement, Deal with the Devil. So, with that, we're off the mark. During our first conquest as well, we meet our first friend, Ratau, a creature who used to wear the same crown as us, but now is just here to help get us through. In the next level of the dungeon, we also come across an animal who is about to be sacrificed, so we annihilate his captors and get ready to save this creature and have them worship me instead. We do just that and then exit the first level into our lovely home base, or what will become, eventually, our beautiful home base anyway. We then get our next achievement, First Follower, by, you guessed it, converting that lost soul we found into our first follower. And then after exploring the area for a tiny bit, I then immediately get into the trials to hopefully kill our first bishop. Now, as I said, this game is a dungeon crawler where you face room upon rooms of enemies that you must battle in order to reach mini-bosses. If you kill 3 mini-bosses, that unlocks the door for you to go and try and kill the bishop. So during our first level in Deadwood, we come across Clawneck, I hope that's how you pronounce his name, who grants us with a tarot card every time we stumble upon him in the levels. Now, the tarot cards give you a bit of a boost to a certain aspect, or can actually give you a mini power to your character, from faster movement to faster swing speed, to firing projectiles out of your sword on attack, and injuring enemies when you roll into them. This creature is very important to safely dealing with the levels, and you'll want to pick up as many tarot cards as you can. But not before long, we actually found ourselves at our first mini-boss, Amdusius, I think? A grotesque spiky worm caterpillar thingy. Now, even though many may think he looks cute and adorable, we rather quickly blow him up for our next achievement, Death to Non-Believers. But in the process of blowing up, he actually turns into an adorable and frightened thing. And they quickly swear an oath to our cause, which means another follower to my holy crusade. Then at home, we finally give these poor losers a reason to exist, by erecting a giant statue of me in the middle of the map, where these creatures can then worship at to create devotion that I can collect, whether it be temples, prayer sites, beds, hospitals, wood mines, you name it, tons of stuff you can create. So the first thing, of course, we create is a temple so that my followers may hear my wise words. And by giving my first sermon, I actually unlock another achievement, Preacher of Truth. And by performing sermons, we are actually able to save up another currency, Faith. Once we collect enough, we are also able to upgrade our abilities, weapons, and curses to use in the dungeon trials. Then I get straight back to the dungeons and quickly scrape myself through another. I save more desperate drones, kill the next mini-boss, and gain the Flock Grows achievement for gaining 5 followers. A decent start, but I know we can do better than that. For starters, we need to start performing rituals to increase the faith of my followers. The first we perform is a bonfire in my name for, let's face it, just being brilliant. And by doing this, we also gain the next achievement, Crosser of Thresholds. And honestly, it was at this point where I really knew that I was going to enjoy this game. Not only was the art style absolutely incredible, but with every new unlock I just found myself getting more and more invested, as every part of this game is fun. From exploring to kicking creature ass in the conquest, it all fits wonderfully together, and it just knows exactly what kind of game it wants to be, so it nails everything that it tries to do. And no, this won't be the last time that I sing this game's praises, so yeah. Moving on. Now back at the base we get to travel to meet Ratau again in his little hut, who then introduces us to a dice game he likes to play called Knucklebones. The premise is fairly simple. Fill your 3 lines with dice that add to a higher amount than your opponent's. If you place 2 or more of the same dice in a line you get a multiplier, and if you place a dice on a line where your enemy also has a dice lined up across from you, you will destroy their dice. The first person to fill up their lines with dice and have a higher amount wins. And by winning our first game, we get the next achievement, Game of Chance. Now it also became understood very quickly that this game could be very, very generous with achievements, which was fine on me, so we cracked on. After tackling another mini-boss, it was now time to tackle our first bishop. He had slowly teased and threatened us throughout the levels, but now it was time to take him on. And honestly, considering that this was the first boss battle, I was sort of expecting to fight something ferocious and badass looking, and this just didn't. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Jesus Christ. Now, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. However, Leshy is obviously the weakest of the 4 bishops. He's the first one you face, so it doesn't take long before we carve him in half, get the See No Evil achievement and a heretic heart that we can use to gain a permanent buff when entering the Crusades, such as an extra heart or the ability to cheat death once, for example. But back at the base, whilst I was bringing in new blood to the cult, my Twitch chat decided to grab me my next achievement, the First Death, by ruthlessly and carelessly killing one of my followers. Rest in peace, Mr. Fandango, you will be sorely missed. And also, real quick, go follow me on Twitch, link down below. Next, we travel to a brand new part of the map that we had just unlocked. There, we meet a fisherman and a dull lighthouse full of cultists. We got our next achievement, Bringer of Light, by returning light to the lighthouse by chucking some fire in the wood burner. I know, I'm simply too helpful. We also gained Transform by unlocking a new fleece by completing tasks to earn enough of these weird shard things to craft one. And then, because we're not done with achievements yet, we then also gained Cannibal by feeding the alive followers the follower who had just died. So yeah, cannibalism is a thing in this game, and I love that. But at this rate, our cult was gaining traction, hence why we also unlocked Flock of Many for gaining 10 loyal idiots to pray to me. But the fame was getting to me, and I was struggling to handle my new celebrity status. So to even things out, I decided to sacrifice one of my followers to a gigantic octopus kraken thing, which they were also surprisingly okay with, and we got another achievement, Sacrificial Beast. Honestly, this game just chucks achievements at you. And by this time, our base was growing nicely. We had a farm, temple, beds, food, as well as several upgrades that we could use in the fights, such as stronger weapons and curses. But now with the first boss done, it's time for the new realm, Anura, to face our next bishop. So after more grinding of the levels and the satisfying killing of many mini-bosses, we soon and quickly found ourselves at the feet of Hecate. Now Hecate of course goes through the transformation as well and turns into this disgusting demogorgon toad thing. Now also admittedly he was a tougher fight than Leshy, of course. The constant attack of toads and flies whilst also dodging Hecate's many attacks was certainly upping the ante. However, since I'm simply assembled uniquely, we take care of him with ease and gain the next achievement, Speak No Evil. We also get a new heretic heart, and we are one more chain closer to freeing our leader who waits. Now it's time once again for some home improvements and a little bit of exploration. Now earlier, as I said, we met a fisherman who surprisingly taught us how to fish. Now the next achievement we pick up is Teach a Lamb to Fish for catching one of every single kind of fish. I need to stop saying fish. We then get back to our home base, build a confession booth so that I could listen to my followers' most tragic secrets, and also unlock the achievement Keeper of Secrets, as well as growing our following to 20 for the next achievement, Flock of All. But now it's back to more of the same, and in our next hour we unlocked quite a couple of achievements, so let's quickly go through them. I upgraded the base to its final level and unlocked Devotion. Also, something I haven't mentioned yet is that throughout the game you have the chance to earn tombstone pieces by leveling up your followers or just finding them in chests. Once you've got 3, you're able to craft a commandment that basically improves a certain aspect of your faith. Some examples is that your followers are no longer scared of sacrifices but instead think that they are fecking mint, or allowing you to gain more faith during sermons. But by unlocking all of the tombstone pieces and crafting the lot, we gained Gospel. Then on our next crusade we find the final character that opened up the last part of the map that granted us the Leader of the Crusade achievement. Then by upgrading our weapons and Curses web to full, we unlock Weapons of Plenty and Curses of Plenty as well. And finally, cause nope, we're not done yet, we unlock Hoarder of Wealth for accumulating 666 coins. But thankfully for now, that is it. It's time to get back to crusading and killing to go after the bishops and to free our waiting master. So we trek to the third zone, Anchor Deep, and honestly, this one gave me a little bit of grief. Now I can't even really say why, but some of the enemies in this realm just really gave me a harder time than those before and after it. But we eventually make our way to the Squiddy boss, who was easily the hardest boss for me to fight, for one reason and one reason alone: the ranged ball attack things that I hate and never wish to have again. Maybe it's because I wasn't being patient enough or the curses that I was using weren't the best, but this boss really did give me a struggle. So after a couple of deaths, we finally pushed through and cooked up this bastard squid, claiming the heretic heart and the achievement Hear No Evil, and we were slowly coming to the final runs of the playthrough as we were rapidly approaching most of the achievements collected. So I pressed on to the final level, the Silk Cradle. At this point, it's pretty much more of the same. Battle level upon level of enemies, kill thrilling mini-bosses until you've finally done enough to take on the boss. So the boss did come quite quickly after this. Now, a little bit before the boss, I realised that there was 4 achievements for killing all of the bishops without taking a single hit of damage. So, when I entered this boss fight room for Shimura, I thought, sod it, let's give it a go. Now, this made the boss fight a lot more intense, and I had to be very patient, very careful, and you know what? Yeah, I had to be a little brave too, which is not my strong suit. But after a minute or two of panicking, the boss was a couple of hits away from death. Think No Evil, did I get it? Did I not take damage? I don't think I took damage. I think I got both. Hey! And with that, we earned Think No Evil and Peace for embarrassing this boss and taking no damage in the process. But now with the final bishop dead, it was time to free our master of his final chain and go to claim our prize as his most loyal follower. Well, after breaking the chain, I began to think that freeing him wasn't going to end well, and by doing so, we wasn't just going to run through the tulips together arm in arm, although that would have been a sight to see. I had a feeling we were going to fight, and my suspicions were very quickly confirmed when upon entering the void we were met with a whole arsenal of weapons to choose from. But I swallowed my pride and approached the one who waits, and they gave me the option to kneel before them and sacrifice myself to them, or to, well, not do that. So, essentially, we gave him the middle finger and spat in its face. It didn't like that, so we now have one last boss on our hands. Now, this fight was tough, as we have to deal with 2 of his minions to begin with, which took away a couple of the spare hearts that I had. But we soon dispatched them, and with both of the minions out of the way, the one who waits waited no more and came to stamp on my head. We simply did not let it. It was a close fight, but eventually we got the upper hand. Yes! We got him! First try! Hell! Do you believe you defeat... do you... oh, that ain't good. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, this ain't good. This is not good. Oh my god! So, with 2 hearts left, a boatload of patience and a dream, we got straight back into the fight. It was a grueling battle, and with many moments of sheer panic and mayhem, thankfully, after pushing through, we did get the better of him. And with that, we had the final boss achievement, Do No Evil, and I had indeed become a god. But since defeating the one who waits, he turned into a cute and adorable creature ready for the rescue. So, I let chat decide its fate. Yeah, he died, rather quickly. But that was the main game finished. All I had to do now was scrape the last of the collectibles and grind another couple of the achievements as well. The first I tackled was the Knucklebones related one. Throughout all of the levels you could find creatures that would become available to play the game with. This achievement had us beat them all. So after a rather lengthy battle with the last character, Strummy, I don't know, we then got the achievement Master of Chance as well as full deck for unlocking all of the tarot cards that were available. We also went back and killed all of the bosses again without taking a single hit of damage, which went really well. And from that we unlocked Say, Order and Cure. Now we only had a couple left. The next we unlocked was Full Flock for unlocking all of the follower skins, and then Weigher of Souls for sacrificing 10 of my lovely following. And now it's time for the last achievement. We're already there. So we went and gained our last shard, went to the temple and did just that, unlocking Transmute and finally Godhood for earning every single achievement in the game. However much I didn't want it to be, we were done with Cult of the Lamb. Now, as I said before, I absolutely adored this game, so much more than I thought I was going to, and as of now, I honestly think this is my game of the year for 2022. Although, to be honest, I haven't played actually that many this year, so please take that statement with a pinch of salt. It's just, with this game, there wasn't a single aspect that I didn't adore. I love the art style of the surroundings, the cute characters, the amazing ritual moments. This game is absolutely beautiful, and that is a huge plus for me, as I love it when games nail their artistic styles. It is also challenging, but without becoming a pain in the ass for the most part. The combat is great, the exploration is great, there is a ton more to do than you might think, and yeah, honestly, I heavily suggest this game to anybody who hasn't given it a shot yet. But it's time to wrap up this video now with something new that I'm going to start doing, which is a summary of all of the stats on gaining 100%. So for Cult of the Lamb, it took us roughly 19.4 hours to unlock all 37 achievements. I, without hesitation, would say that this game is a 9 out of 10 for how much I enjoyed it, and I think it's safe to say that this game is a 2 out of 10 for difficulty on achievements, as the only achievements that gave me a slight bit of grief was the Calamar boss without taking damage and the final fight of Knucklebones, but both of those only took half an hour at most. So I definitely recommend this for other achievement hunters out there as well. For the hardest achievement to get, I would have to give that to Cure. As I said, the Calamar boss did give me a spot of grief, but nothing you shouldn't be able to overcome with a little bit of time and a little bit of patience. But just like that, we are done. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and please let me know down below what you think of Cult of the Lamb, as you can tell, I bloody loved it. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more, and come swing by my Twitch where we grind these achievements in games live as well. But thank you all again, have yourselves a great day, and I will see you all in the next achievement grind. Take care, bye bye for now.